posting some more videos soon, but tomorrow is my last day of actual work, so I'm gonna have more time to work on this. But I just came back from work and I added a couple extra commands. Now what I'm gonna show off is the CLI and basically how I've been doing it. I have a program class, which is just a partial class, and it checks if there's any arguments. If it does, it will run a CLI. If not, it will run the web application. Then I have the CLI part, which does the system of command stuff, system of command line stuff, which I'm not really happy with. I don't really like the way system command line works. I don't like the amount of boilerplate I have to work to get the services in there either. You can't use any service injections or because it's not designed for that, so you can possibly consider, well, maybe I should be using another NuGet package. No, I don't want to. I'm just going to use this as it is. And then here's just the web stuff. So one of the reasons I was making a CLI is because I'm trying to manage the roles for the users. The problem though is that if you update a particular role for a user, you have this attack window because the cookie is still valid and it's not really updating the role. So the solution to that is to always check the role. Now you might consider what the problem is with always checking the role. Simple cache layer could fix that though. Anyway, so here it is in action. I got a little console window here. Now my server is up and running. I go to the panel, which I'm not supposed to go there if I'm a customer. So I can just get the roles for my account. Okay, yeah, you probably shouldn't be using .NET Run and all of the problems that come along with that. But anyway, it says I'm an administrator. Now what I can do is just do add role. I think it's add role. And then the email, and then the role, let's say customer. And there you go. So now I'm also a customer as well as an administrator, which did log me out because, as I said, if you update the roles now, it will invalidate the security stamp, which I don't think I explained this. Anyway, I invalidate the security stamp and then I make sure that it rechecks the security stamp every time, which, like I said, may or may not be problematic. Okay, so I'm an administrator and a customer, which still allows me to get inside of the admin panel, which is great. But now I'm going to say, okay, well, never mind. I'm going to remove the role. I'm not an administrator anymore. I'm just a customer. So, and now if I refresh, I just have to log in again. By the way, invalidating the security stamp is something you really should only do for like very specific events where you kind of want to force the user into like being invalid. And one of those things for me is like the roles. When I remove someone from administrator, I don't want them to have access to being an administrator for 10 more minutes. But the overhead, again, is that you need to make more database requests. So you're going to have a cache layer or something. As you can see, now it will just say, this area is off limits. A wizard is blocking the path. One thing I failed to mention is that the reason I'm doing all of this is I had to set up the roles because I set up an S3 server, which I'm going to make a whole video about. And in order to actually upload files, I need to be able to have an admin panel. And to have an admin panel, it needs to be accessible by an admin. So I ended up making the role system. But then I realized it's really hard to like set the roles and update the roles outside of the application. I don't want to be using a database directly all the time, and I can't even register an account on the production server yet. So hence the CLI, which came to be the best possible way of solving this issue.